Thank you. I happen to know what it's like to go to his woodshed. So when he says something nice, you just have to kind of bask in that. Human resource colleagues, business, government, and military officials, and members of the press, thank you for joining us for this very special event. The Families and Work Institute is our premier work-life research engine. SHRM is our premier HR membership organization. One produces world-class data addressing the critical workplace challenges of the generation, and the other provides quality information to HR professionals to advise business and government leaders on critical workplace issues. I see the world through the lenses of culture, talent, and the marketplace. Life-work integration, which embraces culture-dependent care and flexibility, is a critical component of the culture and talent focus. That focus has me obsessed with asking this question: what is possible? That question must be posed, however, only in pursuit of game-changing outcomes. The partnership of such giants as FWI and SHRM can only come about when leaders accept that they can do together what neither can afford to do alone. The FWI SHRM leaderships have come to that crossroads and accepted that value proposition. This is good for America and positions her to pursue and lead in the identification of game-changing outcomes for the global workplace. Not the U.S. workplace, but the global workplace. When the field of focus is the U.S. business community, the field of competition is neither U.S. companies nor the United States. It is wherever work gets done to impact and influence the global marketplace. And I keep making that point because when you see a global company, understand that even if they're headquartered here, the majority of their revenue comes from someplace else. And the majority of their people don't work here. The entire purpose of the FWI SHRM partnership, the entire purpose, I don't care what they tell you, the entire purpose is talent management. Wherever U.S. enterprises are managing people, we must excel. We can't be average. We must excel. We must do three things to unleash the talent of our workforce. First, we must define the terminology. Flexibility is not an accommodation or a favor. It is first the linchpin of the employee management partnership. Second, it is the key tool in the pursuit of productivity, morale, and retention. It is distinctively not a barrier to those goals. And third, flexibility is the core of our workplace currency. Currency. But more about that in a moment. The second thing we must do to unleash the talent of our workforce is to understand that the flexibility discussion is all about all workers, not just women. To quote Ellen, let's not make assumptions about men at home the way we have about women at work. The third thing we must do to unleash the talent of our people is to treat flexibility as a strategic survival tool in a global workplace. Brent talked about that. As such, treating it as our workplace currency is strategic, is critical. Our people have two things to give us: their talent and their time. Control over that time is up for negotiation. With workplace demands ascending and resources to compensate declining, flexibility is the currency of exchange. Talent and skill in exchange for how, where, and when they are deployed. We must act like flexibility is the coin of the realm. In 2006, on my last visit to Japan, I participated in a meeting in the Prime Minister's office where the discussion was about workplace practices and policies. We talked about their culture. 1.2 birth rate, the lowest of the developed nations. No immigration to fuel their talent pipeline, and a culture of improving but weak support of women in the workplace. A senior Japanese woman official said to me, "We must manage workplace flexibility much better. We have to do it better than the United States." In June 2009, the Japanese Diet passed an amendment on child care leave that addressed working hours for working parents, gender inequality, and low birth rate, a government response to talent management. We must face head-on the realities of the global economy. Our greatest liability in the U.S. is our educational system. 1/3 of our students don't graduate from high school. We must compete with at least two nations, China and India, that can produce more workers and more buyers than the United States. How do we level the playing field? Flexibility is the equalizer that can enable the talent that we do develop to deliver maximum performance. Why the FWI-SHRM partnership? I have heard Admiral Mullen in other venues talk about the concept of service to America. This partnership is anchored in that concept of service. This partnership is a contemporary response to the challenge issued to America on January 20th, 1961, when during his inaugural address, President Kennedy said, "And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." This partnership is a response to America's call for help. It is a response to the premier workplace challenge of this generation, talent management. It is recognition that the jobs of today and tomorrow are not an entitlement. Jobs, wherever they exist, anywhere in the world, are not destined to be ours. This partnership is recognition that it is not predetermined that the U.S. workforce will be superior to those of other nations, democracies or not. This partnership is anchored in the understanding that leaders, business and military, want to win. They want HR advisors who give advice to help them win. When it comes to tools, lowest cost, highest impact is always the goal. Flexibility equals lowest cost, highest impact, while it is also the greatest contributor to workplace performance, morale, and retention. Every leader's goal is to put his or her team in a position to win. The purpose of the FWI-SHRM partnership is to enable our HR leaders to have the data to give the necessary advice to enable leaders to accomplish that goal, to put their teams in a position to win. This partnership is a patriotic endeavor conceived in our National Workplace Laboratory. It is intended to create advantage, to benefit our national competitive performance. It is America's time to, once again, pose the question, what is possible? And her declaration is and must be that the only acceptable answers are game-changing outcomes. As my 88-year-old mother continues to tell me, always set high goals, but never reach for the mountaintop. If you fail, you may fall to the bottom of the mountain. Always reach for the stars. And if you miss, you may land on the mountaintop. America is at a competitive crossroads. Our purpose is to have her be the catalyst that drives global workplace leadership. The FWI-SHRM partnership defines winning as our only goal, and the stars as our only destination. Thank you. Shirley Davis is going to lead us in a focus on responding to your questions. Thank you.
Along with my partner, Ms. Ellen.